Hey everybody, this is Matt. I'm making a new video for the brand new Marvel Uncanny X-Men Heroclix set, and I got to play in two pre-release events this past week. I'm going to be showing some pictures on the left side of my local pre-release event, and I got some cool X-Men pieces I want to show. They're nothing stupendous, but I really liked them, so let's just jump into this thing. This is Angel. He is 75 points. He's pretty cool. Let's look at his abilities so far. He has all new X-Men and X-Men keyword. He's the only all new X-Men piece that has X-Men keyword. He has time lock trait. Opposing characters can't use probability control to reroll attacks made by or targeting this character. And then he also has a special movement. Angel can use charge. When he does, after action resolve, he can use sidestep as a free action and automatically breaks away when doing so. So what's cool is he can carry somebody in there if you wanted to, but you can also charge in, punch somebody, then sidestep back out. So if Wolverine, let's say Wolverine charged in first, then Angel charged in second and punched somebody, he could also pick up Wolverine and sidestep back 2 squares, which is really cool. He's only 75 points. He has super senses and energy shield deflection right there, so he's harder to hit from range, definitely. And as you click him, he stays fairly consistent. 10 attack, 2 damage, 17 defense, pretty much all the way through his dial. He's only 5 clicks of life. Other than that last click, he bops down to 16. But the willpower is very useful because there's not a lot of clicks with Indomitable in this set. So I like that he has charge his entire dial, which is really cool. And I'm just happy to have a new Angel. This is the Angel from the all new X-Men. So let's look at Wolverine. This is Wolverine. I'll look at his card. He has Alpha Flight, Weapon X, and X-Men keyword. He has the all new, all different X-Men, which a lot of the figures have. Basically, when somebody heals him with the X-Men team ability, you can modify all his combat values except damage by +1 until your next turn. And then he also has, when Wolverine clears an action token, you may heal him in 1 click, which is really cool. It means, because he doesn't have Indomitable, it means he's going to be healing up about 1 click every 2 turns, which is pretty cool. He can charge blades, really nice. That 17 combat reflexes is really nice starting out for only 50 points. He then, he keeps that consistent up to this point where he just becomes a monster with blades and flurry. He just continues. He's a lot easier to hit, but he's just shish kebabbing everybody he touches. And then his last click for 50 points, 13 attack, flurry blades. It's absolutely nuts for 50 points. It's a consistent trend with these 50-point pieces. They're just really, really, really good pieces. Let's get into Nightcrawler. Martial artist X-Men keyword. Also has the all new X-Men, all different X-Men key trait. Bamf, basically give him a power action and place him anywhere within line of fire. That means if he has a clear line of fire to the other side of the map, you can do that. And if you only place him within 4 squares of where he began, you can punch somebody. So that's pretty cool. Let's look at his dial. You're paying 50 points for an 18 combat reflexes, which is absolutely nuts. There's his special Bamf ability. He has precision strike, so you can ignore super senses and make sure to do 1 damage. He's just super hard to hit with his combat reflexes. He's just super hard to hit. And then at this point, he loses combat reflexes and Bamf, but he can still get out of dodge with teleport. Facing teleport, and now he has super senses and shape change, which just continues to make him really, really hard to hit. Overall, he's an amazing harasser for 50 points. I really, really like him. Let's look at Cyclops. He has just X-Men keyword. He also has the all new, all different X-Men trait, but then he also has another trait, field leader of the X-Men. Cyclops can use leadership. When he does and succeeds, he can use prop control until your next turn. So that's useful. Now the bad thing about it is, in the current wording of leadership, he can only take tokens off of things that are less points than him. So right now you'd have to be 49 points or less, which there's not a lot in a set. But a lot of people are assuming that in the future they're going to be changing leadership so that you can be equal point total or less, which would be really great. I don't think he has any other special abilities, so let's look at his dial. Again, he's only 50 points. He has 7 range, willpower, range combat expert, and sidestep. So he can move in slowly, but he's definitely a threat with a range combat expert. He can bump up to 11 attack for 3 damage, or keep 10 attack for 4, or if you have no damage reducers, he can go 12 attack for 2, you know. He loses the willpower, but it's okay. The willpower is great on the first click. That means he can push and attack 2 turns in a row. And unless he takes, 1 click of damage, he probably won't ever bounce onto that click. Then he lands over here, and, he loses 1 attack. I guess it's okay, but he has the range combat expert to make up for that. Then he becomes a monster, a lot like that Wolverine. His last 2 clicks are just really, really nice. Running shot, psychic blast for 3 damage, and then running shot, 11 attack, psychic blast for 3 damage with willpower. I knocked an opponent onto this click in one of my games with him, and I regretted it immediately because he was able to psychic blast me for 3, then psychic blast me for 3 again the next turn. It was amazing. I love these 50-point pieces. They are so great. And we're talking about 50-point pieces. Let's talk about Colossus. He has armor and X-Men keywords. He has the all-new, all-different X-Men trait like them all. And I don't think he has any... Oh, he has no other special abilities. He's not that special, but what he does right is he does real good. 50 points for 18 invincible. Charge super strength. So he can charge and whack you for 5 with a heavy. And you're like... Wow, 18 invincible. And let's say you hit him for 3. You whack him. So eventually he would take 1. Bam! 18 in vulnerability. He's still a tank. He loses charge for some sidestep, but he still has the super strength, so he can still whack you. Even if you get the early hit in, he can still sidestep and whack you with an object. And next click. Bam! 17 in vulnerability. He is so hard to damage, dude. And he's only 50 points. He's gonna have that object. You're not gonna be able to knock it off him unless you hit him really, really hard onto these last 2 clicks. So unlike Wolverine and Cyclops, he doesn't really become a monster later in his dial. He just kind of sticks around. Look at that. He has 3 damage his entire dial. 3 damage, 3 damage, 3 damage. Even on his last click, he has 3 damage. He is going to be dishing out damage the entire freaking game, dude. That guy is so tanky. And then the last one I want to talk about is this Magneto. And he has a cool little thing. This is the Clicks FX. It's a new mechanic they're adding to the game, which basically allows you to have an effect that you can put underneath a character and give them something or do something to them. And Magneto's Clicks FX ability is you can put this underneath a character. Let's say you have Cyclops all the way in the back. You can give Magneto a power action and put this underneath him, and that character now has energy shield deflection, which is really, really cool. It's very useful for pieces that don't have a lot of damage reducers or energy shield deflection that are ranged. Let's look at Magneto's card. So one of the reasons I really wanted to have him because this is a Magneto with X-Men keyword. So and then there's this magnetic shield for my allies. If Magneto's KO'd or the other character takes damage from a ranged attack, you remove the shield, the 3D object. But otherwise, it's really nice. I never had the item actually get tossed off during the game. It was only when Magneto got KO'd when it went away in one of my games. I don't think he has. Oh, he has his other special ability. He can use energy shield deflection and toughness. So he starts out with that. So like he'll have energy shield deflection, and then whatever piece you put on this thing will also have energy shield deflection. So it's a nice way of doing it. Like if you have a 2-man ranged group, because this Magneto is very utilitarian. He has telekinesis and enhancement. So he definitely wants to kind of stay in the back and just TK some people forward, let them do the fighting for him while he kind of pumps up some stuff. But I mean, the 4 damage at 8 range is nothing to joke about. He can still pump out some damage. He does lose running shot, but it's okay. He's supposed to stay back anyways. And if someone does try to base him, he can just force blast them away, basically. He loses the enhancement, so he's starting to get mad. He's like, maybe I'm not going to be a helper anymore. Maybe I'm just going to start running, shotting for 3 damage with willpower and just shooting everybody I can see. And I really like the transition his Dial does in the second part of the Dial, where he becomes more of an attacker with range combat expert, precision strike, willpower. He's sticking around. He's doing a lot of damage. He only has 6 clicks for 90 points, which does make him less efficient than the 5 for 50 that you get with the other pieces. But he's a really cool figure. I really like him. I had a lot of fun playing in the X-Men events. I actually won a Vampire Wolverine in in one of the events. He is a cool figure. I probably would want to trade him though, because I don't really like these like non-standard characters. I don't really get behind like the Phoenix, the Phoenix 5 Cyclops, or the Cosmic X-23. I just want the regular versions of the characters, but he's really cool. Like all vampires, he starts out later in his Dial, and then he has still energy, and he can click up further. He can heal up further in his Dial. One thing I don't really like about him is, other than that impervious, he really doesn't have a lot of damage reducers. He has toughness, and then later on he gets combat reflexes. So it makes me scared that even if you do heal up one with still energy, you're likely going to be taking more damage than you dishing out. And he doesn't have willpower either, so he's going to be pushing to do stuff. And when you push with still energy, it's okay. But the whole point is to heal up the Dial, and you won't be healing up the Dial if you're pushing with still energy. Let's look at his card. He has Monster, Ruler, and X-Men keywords. He can use Vampiric Healing Factor. Wolverine begins the game on click number 4. He can use Still Energy and Stealth. When he uses Still Energy, he can go past the line. He Lord of the X-Vampires. Other friendly characters possessing the X-Men keyword or team ability can use Still Energy. That's really nice, given other people like Colossus or Wolverine or Nightcrawler Still Energy. But I don't know. I don't know if I'd really want to use them. He has Feeding Frenzy, give Wolverine a free action if a friendly character uses Still Energy to heal this turn. Modify the attack values of all friendly characters by +1 and their defense values by -1 into your next turn. That's honestly not that good if you do -1 defense. He also has Control the Destiny of the X-Men. Wolverine can use Perplex, but only to target friendly characters possessing the X-Men keyword or team ability. When he does, he may modify any combat value except damage by +2. So I guess I guess he has some tricks up his sleeves, but I don't really like the piece. I probably want to trade him, but right now everybody has it, him and Dr. Nemesis, because they were the pre-release prizes. So, the value of them is tanking like a rock, basically. But overall, I had a lot of fun with the Uncanny X-Men pre-release events. It was really nice to be able to field 5 or 6 characters for 300 to 400 points. It was really interesting to see what all the clicks effects were. Clicks, effects. Say that 5 times fast. But it was really nice. At first, I wasn't thinking I was gonna like all the 50-point versions, but boy, do they do what they do right for 50 points. And I mean, you would be a fool not to play them for 50 points. I remember a time in the game when if there was a piece that was 60 points or less, it was a must-have, because everything else was so much more expensive, and you needed those lower point characters to fill out teams, So having all these 50-point characters is really nice for team building. I got some other characters that I really didn't like, Dial-wise. I got this Kitty Pryde, which she's cool, but she only really helps out all new X-Men pieces, and I mean that's the downside to a lot of this stuff. One of my biggest issues with this set was they gave all new X-Men a different keyword than X-Men, so it kind of separates the two groups. They can't play together in a keyword theme team. I had some other pieces like Thunderbird. I'm so happy to get a new Thunderbird, but he on his 3rd click, on his 4th click, and on his 5th click, he has a special damage, which gives him exploit weakness. But if he uses exploit weakness, he automatically KOs himself, which I don't think I'd ever want to do, ever. I think that's kind of dumb. But overall, I think everybody had a lot of fun playing with the new pieces. The set comes out May 4th. It's a little bit over 2 weeks from now, or a little bit under 2 weeks from now, whenever you're watching this video. But thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. And I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I hope you have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.